What do dinosaurs, science, and Meghan Markle have in common? Until now, absolutely nothing. But this year, the Natural History Museum of LA ditched its decades long Dinosaur Ball and rebranded the entire gala, with Meghan Markle as the very first honoree. And here's where it gets wild: the event is happening on the exact same date as Trooping the Color. Let's unpack what this really is: a public image makeover dressed up as a garden party. But before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. I was originally going to present the People magazine article of this story, and I was recording it, and I felt like so many other people were already talking about it, and it just didn't feel like I was going to give it my own spin. I had completely abandoned the idea of making a video about this, and then I stumbled upon this article. So it turns out Meghan is going to receive a huge honor on King Charles's special day. The Duchess of Sussex will step out on the same day the royal family will reunite for King Charles's birthday. So I do want to say that these two events are both happening on June 14th, but because of the time difference, they really aren't going to be conflicting with each other. But if you ever went back in history and you typed in Meghan Markle June 14, 2025, or you typed in King Charles June 14, 2025, both of these events I would assume would pop up. The article begins: while Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, and King Charles are expected to reunite on Buckingham Palace's balcony for the annual RAF flypast, Prince Harry's wife will be making headlines in California. I love that it's just Prince Harry's wife. I think that my two favorite ways of referring to her are either Prince Harry's wife or Meghan Markle. I think those are my favorites. Drop in the comments which ones are your favorites. The article begins: the star studded gala at Exposition Park will recognize her efforts to uplift women and undeserved communities. We are proud to honor Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, a native Angelino whose work to advance community well being and expand opportunity aligns with our equity focused approach, said Museum President Lori Bettison Varga. The mom of two who will deliver remarks during the evening is expected to be joined by a crowd of LA's cultural and philanthropic elite. When has Megan ever turned down a mic? I would genuinely want to know. Even at her own wedding, she gave a speech. So she is not one to turn down delivering remarks. The article continues: back in London, all eyes will be on the Trooping the Colour parade, where senior royals are expected to attend, including the Prince and Princess of Wales and their children, George, Charlotte, and Louis. Princess Anne and the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh are also expected to be present, though the exact attendance has not been confirmed. Let me tell you, it's not just in London that all eyes will be there. This is actually happening in the wee hours of the morning, but I will be awake if I can and watch it. And I'm going to do my best to be awake and watch it. Let's talk about four different narcissistic implications of this action. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the video, they won't be happening at exactly the same time. But there is this tendency for Harry and Meghan to try to do things on the same date that something is happening with the royal family. Well, in particular, with King Charles, Prince William, and Catherine, Princess of Wales. So, what we're speaking to is a pattern and not just specifically this instance. The first thing I see is hijacking the narrative. This is specific narcissistic timing. Choosing to step into the spotlight on King Charles's special day isn't coincidental. It's a classic case of competitive timing, often seen in narcissistic dynamics. It's not enough to be visible. She needs to be visible when they are visible. It's a covert way to say, I deserve attention too, don't forget about me. What could this look like in your life? It could be someone that always seems to have big news or a crisis on days that matter to you: your birthday, promotion, graduation, or even your wedding. They'll downplay your moment or shift attention subtly back to themselves. And here's a tip for you: if someone consistently needs the spotlight when it's not theirs, Recognize it as emotional sabotage and not coincidence. Healthy people can celebrate others without competing. The second narcissistic implication is this borrowed legitimacy, but it's wrapped in altruism. She's being honored for uplifting underserved communities. And mind you, there is no specific instances that are highlighted. Like what does that mean, uplifting underserved communities? Give me a bullet point list of the things she's actually done. So she's being honored for this, yet her most publicized initiatives haven't had any measurable community impact. And if you look at her motivations, everything is financial. This is like her shouting, "Look at my empathy," and there's no evidence of sustained action. It's about appearing benevolent and not being it. This is image laundering. These are the ways that it can show up in your life. You have a narcissist suddenly aligns themselves with a cause or group they never cared about before just because it looks good. They may use other people's accomplishments or affiliations to seem impressive. And here's a tip for you: be wary of people who borrow causes instead of building them. Ask yourself, who benefits more, the community or their brand? The third narcissistic implication I see here is triangulation through publicity. By staging a glamorous moment across the Atlantic on a day meant to unite the British royal family, she's triggering comparisons and tensions, inviting people to choose a side. It's subtle, but it's emotional triangulation. Royal family versus Meghan, tradition versus, in quotation marks, equity. How could this look in your life? This could be someone who creates drama or tension between you and others, especially when they're not the center of attention. It could be a toxic ex who posts a thirst trap when they know you're at a family wedding. If someone keeps orchestrating tension to feel important or relevant, step back. Narcissists thrive when others are emotionally confused and they are the only common link. And finally, I see envy driven repositioning. Envy is a core trait of narcissism. If Megan can't be part of the royal spotlight, she'll manufacture her own spotlight. And if it overlaps or competes with the original source of that envy, in this case, the royal family, even better. Here's what it could look like in your life. This is a narcissist who will subtly copy or upstage you. They'll get a new haircut after you do, launch a project just after you announce yours. Their envy masks itself as coincidence or inspiration. When someone can't celebrate you without making it about them too, ask yourself, is this admiration or competition in disguise? Before we close out, I want to give you a quick history about this Night of Wonder Gala. And actually, it's not really a history because this year is the first year that the Night of Wonder is happening. It actually used to be called the Dinosaur Ball. It's a signature fundraising gala for the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles County, and it's been around since the 80s. Over the decades, it's turned into a celebration that combines immersive themes, scientific discovery, and community engagement to support the museum's educational and research initiatives. The inaugural Dinosaur Ball took place in 1985, marking a significant event for the museum. The gala featured creative elements like a Goodyear blimp adorned with dinosaur images hovering above the venue, setting a whimsical tone for the evening. The event was a resounding success, raising $150,000 to support exhibitions. Some notable highlights over the years: in 2011, the Dinosaur Ball celebrated the opening of the museum's new 14,000 square foot dinosaur hall. Guests experienced a dino hunt themed evening, complete with excavation style actors, a communal dining setup, and interactive exhibits showcasing over 300 fossils and 20 dinosaur skeletons. In 2019, the gala coincided with the launch of the Antarctic Dinosaurs exhibition. Attendees enjoyed a preview of the exhibit, which transported them back over 200 million years to a lush green Antarctica inhabited by ancient dinosaurs. The event raised more than $1.5 million to fund educational programs and school visits for over 200,000 students annually. In 2023, the theme for the Dinosaur Ball was Deep Time, and it was inspired by the exhibition LA Underwater. The Prehistoric Sea Beneath Us. The immersive event featured live music and themed dining experiences. It successfully raised over $1.4 million to support the museum. So I went into all this history because I wanted to find out who else has been honored at the Night of Wonder. And well, guess what? Megan is going to be the first person to be honored at the Night of Wonder. I also wanted to see if there's been any controversy associated with the ball, and historically, it's avoided scandal. Past honorees were museum staff, educators, or deeply scientific figures. Megan is the most polarizing public figure ever tied to this event. This isn't about science or honoring the work. This is a case of honoring the brand. And sometimes the brand is built on image and not integrity. If this video was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you know every time I drop a new video. In lieu of super chats or super stickers, I would be honored if you would consider donating to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Their information can be seen on the screen here if you need to contact them, and a link to donate is in the description of this video. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.